Wonderful good day, ladies and gentlemen. Commodity TV here, still in Zurich, and we have been on the Gold Forum and several events. And with me here is now Amir Adnani, the founder and CEO of Uranium Energy Corp. And we want to talk about your terrific company. Amir, good evening.
Good evening here in Zurich.
Amir, you are the first time on our channel. I mean, first time is not really true. We did the first interview in 2012, which is a long time ago.
In Munich, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But I think you should refresh our mind. What is Uranium Energy Corp about? What are you doing? Where are you?
Uranium Energy Corp is in a very unique position in that there are less than 10 companies in the world with the capability to produce uranium. Mm-hmm. We have a fully licensed, fully built processing plant, a uranium processing plant, which is quite scarce. Takes a long time to permit this type of infrastructure in the U.S. And we have our Hobson plant in South Texas. Mm-hmm. This right away puts us in a unique league, a very exclusive club of companies that have that production capability. We've kept our production capability unhedged. We're a 100% unhedged uranium producer, which means we can take advantage of the upshot in the uranium price, the leverage to that. Mm-hmm. But in recent couple of years, with the pullback in uranium prices, we've also put our production on hold for the time being because we don't want to deplete our resources into a weak uranium market.
But you have produced already, right?
We did produce from 2011 to 2013.
That's Palangana mine, right?
Our Palangana mine, that's right. About $27 million worth of uranium that really helped demonstrate the proof of concept with the mine and the plant and the team's capability. But we really don't believe in depleting our resources in a weak uranium market environment. It's taken us a long time to permit these assets. So we think the best thing to do right now is to keep the company continuing to move with resource drilling, permitting. The last couple of years, we've made a new discovery at a project called Burke Hollow, which becomes another source of feed for our plant in South Texas.
Fantastic.
We've made 5 acquisitions. And so we're really increasing the size of our asset base. We're really advancing projects from a permitting point of view, and at the same time remain very well positioned for the uranium price recovery.
Fantastic. Let's dive a bit more into your wonderful projects. I mean, you are in 5 different states in the US, right? When I remember that right. And you have something which is called the hub and spoke strategy.
Yeah.
And you have a Hobson processing plant. What is it called? Maybe let's elaborate a bit on that. What are the synergies and the advantages for the company?
So we do, as you point out, we do have a fairly extensive portfolio. We're in the state of Texas, we're in Arizona, we're in Colorado, and we're in South America and Paraguay.
Yeah,
but
we'll
come into that. But our focus is on in-situ recovery, which is the lowest cost way and a very environmentally friendly way of mining uranium. With in-situ recovery, the projects that we have that really work with this type of mining are situated in South Texas, our hub and spoke that you talked about, and also in Paraguay. So we have 2 districts where we are the lead player in those districts, where the focus is on in-situ recovery. In South Texas, where, again, we've spent the last 11 years building our presence there. Not only our plant, not only the 6 projects that we have, but very strong community relations, a very strong understanding of the geologic potential. And the geologic potential of South Texas, I must say, there was a very exciting report that came out late last year by the U.S. Geological Survey that highlighted South Texas as one of the least explored areas for uranium in the United States with the greatest potential. They even put a number on it that there was potential for upwards of 200 million pounds of uranium to still be discovered there. So we feel quite excited about the fact that we have established ourselves in this region for the last decade. We have the infrastructure, we have the people, we have the local know-how, the community relations, etc. So this is something that continues to be part of our hub and spoke that we're talking about.
Okay, super. I saw also in the presentation, well, the grades look like very low, but I think that's a speciality of ISR, the in-situ recovery. Maybe we come on that in a second, because normally you say like, with the big projects, for example, like a fission project, you say 50 million pounds you need for production because you have to go, you start on the surface, then you go deeper and deeper. Of course, you can do an open pit, but you have things like 2 million pounds here, 7 million there. This is already possible then to process because you have one central processing facility, right?
You got it. So first of all, I mean, it's really apples and oranges comparing, let's say, Athabasca type grades and resources with sandstone-hosted ISR projects. So the guys in Athabasca, especially in Western Athabasca, have done a fantastic job with some of the new discoveries. These discoveries, as we all know, and I don't think even those companies admit too, will take many years and a lot of capex to be in production, which is fine. In-situ recovery serves the purpose of being on the low end of the cost curve. And in-situ recovery deposits typically are lower grade. And in fact, they're deposits that you can recover by circulating solution and dissolving the uranium out of the ground, as opposed to excavation and digging and all the kind of big expensive equipment and process that comes with conventional mining. So there's sort of the give and take. I think today, probably the two most advantageous ways to mine uranium is to either have very high grade in conventional mining, open pit underground, so Athabasca, or to be focused on sandstone-hosted ISR projects because they're the low capex. So with that in mind, that's why we put our emphasis in South Texas on new exploration. We've grown our resources in South Texas to almost 20 million pounds, and we still have a lot more exploration still to do. And that's why I also highlight the U.S. Geological report that came out, because it's these types of reports that show how it's sort of, let's say, still new and sort of how limited the amount of exploration is in these areas, that you can still, through proper exploration and techniques, you can still find a lot of uranium in these emerging districts like South Texas.
Fantastic. Maybe can you give us an idea about, let's say the cost structure, I would call it. I mean, you said you have a low capex. Maybe give us an idea on that, what more in an average. We cannot speculate by now because we are not that far, but just an idea if we talk about a billion or 100 million or 50 million on the one hand, and on the other hand, what uranium price do you need to start the production?
So so basically, when you look at conventional projects, whether it's uranium mining or other types of industrial metals or whatnot, conventional projects start north of $100 million, and they could be 500 million to billions for capex. In-situ recovery projects have the benefit of being less than, let's say, $50 million in capex to get up and running. Even at our own experience at the Palangana mine was that we were able to get the initial project, the initial production area, the initial well field, and various facilities up and running for around $10 million. And that's phenomenal when you think about.
Nothing compared to the other projects.
Well, that's the cost of a drilling program in Athabasca Basin for one season. So that's why I said these are apples and oranges when you compare them. So that's a very important distinction that you need to keep in mind.
Okay, and from the production cost, what would you say? I mean, today's uranium $27, $28 per pound. Where would you say you turn on the key? That you say, let's get started, like at $40 or $45?
I think generally speaking, we look at return on our investment, obviously, for these projects. We like to see the uranium price definitely stabilize above the $40 level, especially for an unhedged producer. It's not exciting to talk about producing and selling uranium less than $40. We had our initial reported cost of goods sold and cash cost numbers in the low 20s with some royalty and other kind of exploration type expenses added in. You could say the all-in cost tends to be around $25 to $30 a pound. And so clearly at $30 a pound uranium or $28 a pound uranium, you don't want to deplete your resource and just produce and break even. And so I think north of $40 a pound, you start to see the uranium price look attractive enough. Even most of the uranium that we produced and sold out of our Palangana mine was at an average sale price of about $45. So that's even our own track record shows that's been sort of the range that we've produced and sold at.
Super, perfect. Let's dip a little bit further down from the US to Paraguay, the Frontier project. Maybe you should tell us a little bit about
we feel that our technical team has a very strong and demonstrated capability to explore, develop, permit in-situ recovery projects. We wanted to position ourselves in another district that we felt had similar potential as Texas, but that it gave us a whole new playing field and to be able to expand our business. Paraguay got our attention because going back to the 70s and 80s, where Anschutz Corporation in cooperation with Korea Electric Power. Thai Power had done extensive work there. Cameco,
It's like 100,000-meter drill program, right?
by the time Cameco came in 2006, 2007, and spent more money drilling, you add it all up, there's been 100,000 meters of drilling, you're right. And the replacement value would be, more than $50 million if you were to just look at the amount of work that has been done. So it's quite substantial. And we felt quite compelled about the fact that the geologic characteristics to mine the resources there eventually with in-situ recovery, that those characteristics were available and present, and this was quite compelling. So we went in post-Fukushima when you saw a lot of distress in the junior uranium market and made 2 acquisitions in Paraguay. So we now control all the known projects for uranium in Paraguay. It's about 700,000 acres of land, which is 10 times the size of our land package in Texas, 100,000 meters of prior drilling. And so it's very exciting. On our UT project, the concession was converted from exploration to exploitation. We've had very strong coordination with the International Atomic Energy Agency to help get the Paraguayan government up to speed, and they're very supportive in wanting to see this industry get up and running. So it's a frontier opportunity, you're right. But at the same time, it's a lot of past work that has been done. So it takes a lot of the exploration guessing game out of the equation.
Perfect. Last question. What is cash in the bank? Because that's important. You are still drilling and spending money, of course, and you want to spend later when you go into production. And what's the market cap of the company? Yeah,
so we're trading at about 80 cents a share US on the NYSE MKT right now. It gives us a market cap of actually around $80 million US. We have about 112 million shares outstanding. We just completed an equity financing actually last month. We raised $10.5 million US dollars, and those were actually sold at 85 cents a unit. Really the other piece of information with that is that we disclosed that the lead investors in that financing were JP Morgan Asset Management and Sprott. So it's a very strong vote of confidence to get solid institutional investors involved. We already have had a strong endorsement and participation from other institutional investors, but good to see the company be able to continue to attract the right capital and have the staying power to continue to develop the asset base while waiting to see that uranium price recovery.
Fantastic, great. Amir, thank you very much on that. All the best and good luck, and I'm pretty sure we have soon a good update on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Amir Adnani, the founder and CEO of Uranium Energy Corp. And yeah, you heard it, the company is well cashed up, just financed some 4-6 weeks ago. And I would say sensational projects. 5 US states, they are active with 20 projects, and also in Paraguay with a large project. And the ISR, you need a low capex. Of course, he needs at least $40-45 to go into production. But I think it's manageable, and hopefully we are pretty soon there. So we keep you posted. Check out the company. Thanks, and bye-bye from Zurich.